Hello and welcome to What's Up Stratford for our March edition. Joining me and starting the show is Chef Mark Andrew Brown. Chef Brown, thank you very much for joining me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks.
Now, let's talk about a couple quick things. You've worked, I think, or studied abroad in Copenhagen, New York City, Rome. Tell us what that has done for your culinary expertise.
Yeah, really, I just took to traveling. It's the only way you can kind of keep learning and keep kind of gaining new skills. Did pastry in Copenhagen, ended up in Rome to learn pizza, and a couple great restaurants. But yeah, you find some stuff in food that you become really passionate about, and you just get drawn all over the world to learn as much as you possibly can.
Now, we'll bring it to present day, but you're a chef graduate in 2009 at the Stratford Chefs School. Why did you choose that program at the time, and how did that help you springboard into your career?
Um, Getting into sort of the culinary was a long roundabout way. It was kind of right when the Food Network was sort of getting started. So when I approached my parents, one being an accountant, the other being an engineer, that I wanted to cook for a living, uh, it was a bit of a hard sell. I kind of went and finished actually with a business degree first as sort of a backup plan before I applied to culinary school. And looking at all of the different schools, I love the kind of coming from that business background, the entrepreneurial style program that Stratford crafted. I mean, they weren't just about churning out cooks. It was about churning out people that were leaders in the food service industry. So that's what really drew me to the program at Stratford.
Perfect. And then now you've come back on staff. You're in charge and leading up recruitment and admissions. So tell us what that role entails.
Yeah, I work with the chef school trying to just again sort through all of the applicants and potential applicants that we get, getting sort of the word of what the school's doing out there, and just finding sort of that next generation of chefs to come and learn at our institute that hopefully can again go on to be great leaders and shapers within the hospitality realm.
So if you're a student, if you will, thinking about becoming a student, what's the difference between your 13-week program starting in June, which is only 3 months away, and then your 32-week program starting in the fall?
There's not a huge difference. Your core curriculum in terms of what you learn behind the stoves is very much the same. The option that we've given students with the June start is that you get to expedite your sort of learning. So that way, instead of having to do 4 months with an 8 month internship in between and then coming back for a further 4 months of second semester, you can get all of your theoretical learning done in June and go right into second year in October. So actually, your theoretical learning would be done in 8 months, kind of back to back rather than spreading it out. So if you're really kind of interested, eager, in jumping into the workforce, it gets it out of the way altogether.
And then for students, you're part of the Ministry of Colleges and Universities, so you're eligible for OSAP funding, correct?
Absolutely, we are. And I mean, the nice thing about coming to a culinary school such as ours as well is that we are training students in sort of what they can achieve, which is their Red Seal designation. So while you're training for your Red Seal, there are also various government apprenticeship grants and benefits available because they're always looking to enhance the skilled trades and the number of workers within that labor force. And so there are lots of ways that we can support students in paying for tuition and things like that beyond OSAP.
Right, and parents can also use their registered education savings plan because you're an approved program, correct?
Absolutely.
What's the employment prospects after graduating?
I have always been in a position where I am able to find a job easier than most other people. Stratford graduate skills are in high demand. I mean, we spend twice as much time in the kitchen and twice as much time in the classroom. So coming out, not only are your culinary skills above and beyond that of some of your contemporaries coming out of other schools, but you also have sort of the business foundations, the entrepreneurship, the sanitation, the safe food handling that goes along with it. So again, I mean, our graduates, even when they're looking at their prospects for a work term, we have new recruits all the time asking, oh, like how do I find a job? Worried about finding a job, but in my time with the chef school, I mean, I graduated in 2009. I spent 3 years as an instructor, sort of as a teaching assistant, left and toured the world, and have come back now. But we have never been able to not place a student for a work term, and with that, I mean, even some of our first year students are so good at what they do when they get into the kitchen. They're the jobs that they're working at are trying to keep them rather than having them go back to complete their second semester. So we every year naturally lose a couple of first year students that don't return because of that. And that's just after 1 year of our programming. So you can imagine the skill set you walk away with after 2 years in sort of our program here. So yeah, very high demand skill set for graduates of Stratford Chefs School.
Well, great news. Thank you very much, Chef Brown, and thank you for your leadership at the Stratford Chef School.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
If you want an employment for life, check out the Stratford Chef School and their program for the Red Seal and then travel the world. Coming up next, we're going to talk to the OPP.